If you're new to editing in Premiere Pro, or maybe you're just curious about how you can add keyframes to add a little bit of sizzle to your videos, then you're gonna love today's video. Hey guys, I'm Patrick Fuller, and if you've ever thought to yourself, how do keyframes work? And how could I add just a little bit of sizzle with some real basic animation to my videos? Then you're in luck, because today we're talking about keyframing. But before we get into keyframing, let's talk about what keyframes are. Keyframes allow you to bring an animation to life over a period of time. Here's a few examples of how you can use keyframes with some basic effects. Get your Ken Burns effect. You could use it to slow zoom in for effect. And of course, for speed ramping. So let's talk about what you can keyframe in terms of effects. And the best way to do that is actually to show you my screen here and talk about stopwatches of all things. I've got a couple images set up, and I'm gonna highlight this one right here, this Adobe Premiere Pro CC icon, only to show you that this little guy right here is called a toggle animation or a stopwatch. And anytime you can click the stopwatch, you essentially start a keyframe. And you can see I can turn on and off stopwatches. And if I turn them off, then it's gonna let me know that it's gonna delete all the animation. So quick note, take heed of that. So let me drag this keyframe towards the center just so we can see it just a little bit better here. And let's talk about the different options you have for keyframes. So first things first, if I right click on here, we can come down here to temporal interpolation, and I see some different options. By default, linear is our first option. And linear means it's just a constant rate of change from keyframes from beginning to end. And Bezier lets you change the shape of the graph that'll be used to kind of adjust the keyframes along with the rate of change. Now the flip side of that is Auto Bezier, which creates a smooth rate of change through the keyframe. Continuous Bezier is similar to Bezier and Auto Bezier, but it allows you to change the slope of the curve on one of the keyframes. Hold is a non-Bezier function that basically changes the keyframe value very, very quickly, or holds it as soon as the keyframe holds with no slope or gradual decline or incline. Now, these last two, ease in and ease out, are probably the most important things that we definitely need to know about. So first, ease in, because it's actually backwards from what you might think. Ease in simply slows down the value change when you're going into a keyframe, right? So it's going to be used as kind of the second keyframe in this case. And then ease out is actually how it eases into the exiting of the keyframe. I know it sounds a little backwards, right? Ease in, you would think would start, and ease out, you would think would end, but you're gonna wanna flip this. Okay, so what do we say we stop talking about keyframes and Beziers and actually dive in and do some actual work so we can show you the real difference. Check this out. I still got my three images here. The top one is my Premiere Pro icon. The second one is a BAM. And the third one is the laughing emoji, just for fun. I've gone ahead and already added my linear keyframes to all three of these in the exact same spots. So if I was to play this, you'd see them move all at the same time and at the same rate. So let's just say we're going to keep our linear version for our Premiere Pro icon here. And then in our BAM image, we're gonna use a continuous Bezier, and then we're gonna add the ease in and ease out points. And then let's play it again and see how that differs from the linear. So as I do that, I'm gonna actually show you over here. I'm gonna take this keyframe and we're gonna call this continuous Bezier. And then we'll take this one, we're gonna call this continuous Bezier. And then I'm gonna come back here and then I'm going to say ease out. And see how it changes that curve right there? And then we're gonna say ease in, and we should see a very similar curve on the other side. So now, without doing anything, we're just gonna go ahead and play this and see what happens between our top and our middle images. How cool is that? Okay, they still stopped at the same spot, but you actually saw a difference in how the keyframes worked in terms of speed. Let's check it out one more time. Ooh, now we're getting a little tiny animation, or a little sizzle, as I like to say. Now let's really play with the laughing emoji. And this time we're gonna go ahead and expand this so you can see what's going on here. We're gonna select this guy and we're going to use the Bezier option, just a normal Bezier option for these two. And then because we're using the Bezier option, I'm going to manually adjust the curve points with the little slider guys. So I'm going to take this and I'll pull this down and really push it over to the left. And then I'm going to really make this dramatic, something crazy like that, so we can see what's going to happen. Let's check it out. Oh, that was fun. That was super cool. Let's try that one more time. See, keyframes, they're not that scary. You just have to play with them a little bit and kind of understand the basics between the ease in and ease out, what linear might do, and then what the Bezier options might also do. So now you're practically an expert in keyframing, especially if you went and tried it out on your own. So if you got something out of this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.